Welcome to Charts Today, and this is a UK stock special. We're looking for the top UK stocks. We did this on US stocks yesterday and had a lot of people coming in inquiring what about on UK stocks. So let's have a look at how you would do a scan on UK stocks. And my starting point is I want to scan big lists, and I mentioned yesterday that one of the problems with real-time feeds is there's only so much data you can get in. If you're running Bloomberg, you're limited to 1,500 real-time instruments. If you're running DTN or eSignal or that sort of feed, it's normally around 500 instruments. And we want to scan a bigger list. So the way to do that is to actually scan some Google data, and we did that yesterday, and we can go and do the same thing again today. Now, I built this list by simply just going in and doing it from pasted text. So basically, I can go and get the codes, and I get a list of the codes. So if I wanted to type in, let's say Vodafone, you'll see here there's lots of different markets, but if I'm looking at the London market, it puts this LUN colon in front. So you can create from lists that you can find online, you can create as many lists as you want, really. So basically, we've already created a list, so you can actually just go to quote screens. If you're using the Google data, go to the watch list library, and if you look under Google, and if I include my previously downloaded ones, you'll see under Google you will see a list there. So it's really, that's where you go and grab this data. So the key thing is the list is already there. You go and grab the All-Share list. I've already got this list in my system, so basically I want to scan for upside. And in fact, let's just take a quick look at this highlighter. So if I look at the 30% upside scan, we see here that it's a log scale chart that I'm scanning, so scanning for double top breakouts on 1% log scale charts, and I've set 30%. Now I did a scan earlier for 50% on the FTSE All-Share, which is about 600 and 700 stocks, and it produced only 26 results. The problem with scanning for 50% upside is you might be missing some pretty good charts that have got 30% upside. So I like to just set a level where I'm getting more results than that. So by doing that, I can now go and run, and if I go and run this 30% upside, and I have a list here, which is the list that you can download from our library, FTSE All-Share list, 633 stocks. So if I run that scan, the first thing it's going to scan for is it's running through 633 stocks. It's scanning for double top breakouts on the 1% log scale point and figure charts. That's pretty complex calculation. 1% log scale point and figure charts is where the box size is changing log scale. So the first pass it's doing just now through these 633 stocks is to find the stocks that have actually got double top breakouts. It's now doing the second pass, which is now why it's populating the results, and it's looking for that 30% upside or more. So that's the second criteria, if you like. First is a breakout. The second is a double top breakout. The second is the upside on the target more than 30%. And this is the beauty of point and figure scanning. There's no other way you could really scan for stocks that have got upside potential. And so we see here we've got 67 stocks, and that's really interesting. So we can, that's the old scan there. So we can actually now just go through the results and cherry pick the ones that we want to take a closer look at. So I just literally go through, and what I'm looking for is breakouts. When I say breakouts, more than double top breakouts, where the pattern is we're breaking to new highs. Recoveries I'm not a great fan of, because recoveries generally take time to come to fruition. So this one's got multiple targets. I like that. It's not quite making new highs, but I like it enough to say, okay, let's create a watch list. So I'm going to tag to a UK hot list, and so I'm just going to create a list of stocks, and I'm going to keep going through. That's a recovery. This one looks a bit better. So that's only got one target, but I like it enough to have a closer look. So tag to the watch list. and just keep going. This one also looks good, so just tag to a watch list and just keep going. And this also looks good. Lots of good looking stocks here. So just tag to the watch list and keep going. Also looks alright. So I'm going to just keep going through the list. Not so keen on that, nor that. That looks pretty good. Multiple upside targets. And so we'll just tag that to the watch list as well. Just keep going. Now, this is a bit of a process, but you've got to eyeball the charts, and you'll see in a minute we go and do an even more in-depth look at that chart. So then I just keep going. Yes, that looks good as well. We'll tag that one. Making new highs. Love stocks making new highs, of course. That's a nice breakout. We've got a breakout there. We've got an old target and a new one. So we'll tag that to a watch list as well. And just keep going. That's also good. Multiple targets, new highs, tagged to that watch list as well. And we just keep going. Just keep going. Here we've got multiple targets. Not quite making new highs, but I do like the look of the chart. It's got multiple targets from buying thrusts. That's what we really want to see. Not so sure about that one, nor that one, nor that one, nor that one. Not enough data. Here, yeah, it's not so sure either. It's a bit of recovery. This is quite an interesting one. This is a bit like a fulcrum pattern, so let's have a look at that. We can reject these at the next stage. It's just giving us a list to go through, and you'll notice I like this one because it looks like it might break out. It's a tag to a watch list. At this stage, I don't really care what the stocks are. I'm just going for the charts. We can go down to details later. I actually think it's an advantage not knowing what the stocks are. This one breaking to new highs as well. Feels like it has run a lot, but actually that's over several years. So that's just a nice trending stock. This looks like it might go for a break, so we'll tag to that to a watch list as well. Tag to watch list. That looks pretty good too. So we're just going through. That also looks pretty good. So, yeah, as does that. It's just a case of tagging. Also, that does look reasonable. And as I say, we can always reject these in the second round. Multiple targets, that looks quite good. Just keep tagging. And we see here we've got multiple targets as well. By the way, if you don't understand the point and figure, go to the Updata website and look under research, and you'll see videos, tutorial videos, about 45-minute videos where you can actually learn about point and figure. They're free, and that's designed to help you understand these charts. That's again looking good. Multiple targets, we like that. And not so sure there, the target is more recent. That one looks good. So we'll tag that to a watch list. And we've just got to keep going. Quite like the look of that, even though it's not making new highs. So remember, we've come through 633 stocks, so that one looks pretty good as well. So we are narrowing this down to the top handful of stocks. Now, it'd be nice, all right, to push a button, but there is nothing quite like just eyeballing the results. We want to see the best looking chart, and we'll tag that to a watch list as well. Remembering that this is end of day data on Google, so it does have its limits. That chart not have a look at that. Not so sure. I haven't had a target recently. Got quite a few targets there, so that's buying thrust. Every time you see multiple targets, that's pretty good news, especially if we're breaking into new highs. There's only one target there, but I'll have a look at that anyway. Just keep going. We'll have a look at that as well. You never know. And we're getting near the end now. And that's the last one in the list, town. And haven't had a target recently, not so sure about that. So I now have a new watch list. And if I go and open that watch list, open, I will have it's called UK Hot List. And so this is the Google list, 32 stocks. So my universe is now whittling down. So I've got 32 stocks that I want to take a closer look at. Now if you right hand click on this screen and go copy codes, you can take this to a real-time feed. And if you haven't got a real-time feed, just go to the Updata tray and you can go configure feeds, and it will offer you a free trial of DTN. And so I like the DTN IQ feed. You could use other feeds if you've got them. So what I now want to do is I want to go copy codes. So I click on this list and go copy codes. And then I take this list. And the first thing I'm going to do actually, just before I do that, is I'm going to go and just take a look at the DTN feed, and I see here that this is the FTSE 100, for example. So I see here that the L dot prefix is for London. So, and then the code. So really simply, I can go now and create a list. So if I go new list from pasted text, because I did that copy codes, other, it's going to be a DTN feed, IQ feed, and then I can paste these in, and then I can actually put a prefix of L dot in. So this is going to now take that data from Google and now those codes, and I'll call this my UK hot list live. So these are real-time prices. I've got to add that suffix, and so the prefix, sorry, and then create this list. It's a real-time list, and so now I have a new list. It's got to go and get these prices, and it's pulling this data down from the DTN feed. And now we'll see we're getting all the long name information. That's the beauty of a managed feed. You get a lot more information in there. So we see here this is our list, and these are all now real-time prices. What I can do is I can take this Charts Today screen, and this is actually, if you want to get that screen, you just go to the Layouts library, and under DTN you can then go and collect the, so it'll be IQ feed, you can go and get the layouts. So you can go and get the morning call layout, which is Charts Today, Charts Today, you take that layout, and this is it here. Now what I can do is I can take this list that I've created, my live list, and I can say copy or move. I'll move it to my DTN screen. So then I go to here, and now the template that I use every morning for my Charts Today, where I'm looking at my long term, my medium term, and my short term charts, allows me to take a really multifaceted view. So this was the top chart here is the chart, the 1% chart. That was the chart we scanned on, where we're looking for stocks with more than 30% upside. And we see here now that we don't have such a clear picture on the downside, so on the short term. So I'm going to just go through these charts. It's super quick. So this is British American Tobacco. Some people might struggle with that ethically, but we've got upside targets here, 50% upside target, and we've got short-term upside targets as well. And I just literally go through, and we can see here now where the best-looking stocks are. Not so good there. This is BlackRock Mountain Trust, so it's including investment trusts, looking pretty bullish on all three charts, but a shortage of multiple targets. This one's got quite good medium-term targets, mid-term targets. So there's a biotech growth trust, and you can see by doing this process that we're really getting right down to the data. Inchcape has got a shortage of short-term targets. PolarCap has not activated that short-term upside target. So we're just literally going through Croda, absence of short-term and medium-term targets. The same on Dignity. So you can see now that this is an interesting one. City of London Investment Trust has got good multiple targets on the different charts. So we've got 14% in the medium term, which is also in this chart, 30% upside, which is where the scan came in, and 2.5%. So in the short term. So that's just helping us with a timing decision. Likewise here, Spirax, and we just go through Savills, maybe lacking some medium-term targets there. WPP fallen very heavily this morning on results, so that's not a good timing decision right now. Bailey Gifford, we're seeing again upside targets that are activated, short term, medium term, lots of multiple targets, a really good looking one there. And this is really how you just go through and choose those stocks, and you might then want to go and do some fundamentals research. That's up to you, but the technicals is this is how I choose the stocks. And as we saw with my Nasdaq search, this is how I chose Nvidia, which tripled. I'm looking for stocks that have got these multiple upside targets. There's another one, Jupiter European Opportunities. There's quite a few investment trusts that have got good upside targets here. We're just going right the way through, and just keep going through and just checking those stocks. And we see here JP Morgan, again, good upside target there. Diageo's got lots of short-term upside targets and medium-term. That's looking pretty good too. And if we look at DCC, so it's just a case of going through the charts, and the reason it's quicker this time is all that data is cached now. And so we can just go through and choose our top handful of stocks. That's how you do it. Have a go and copy me yourself. Download a trial of Updata and see for yourself.